across the province, if a tenant lives in a rooming house, that tenancy agreement with that landlord, that's legal. Some cities have ordinances or zones in which rooming houses are permitted municipally.
Sharing accommodations can be an affordable option for renters, and many often opt for rooming houses. But tenants should be aware of how it might be different from renting an entire house or apartment.
So a rooming house is a tenancy arrangement in which the rental unit, that meaning the living space in which the tenant is renting for exclusive possession, is the bedroom of a house, where other tenants are also renting the other bedrooms. And then everything else outside of that is common area.
Samuel Mason from Parkdale Community Legal Services explains that common areas would include the kitchen, bathrooms, and living room that are shared with other tenants.
That means they can't really control it in the way that you're able to control if you rent an entire apartment.
For example, in the case of the landlord or their agents entering the home. As per the Residential Tenancies Act, the landlord must give the tenant 24 hours notice before entering the unit, have a specific reason to do so, and leave when the task is done.
The notice of entry is for the rental unit. So if the rental unit's the whole apartment or the condo that you're renting, it's to enter the front door. But in a rooming house, the rental unit is the bedroom. So you only need the notice if the landlord wants to enter your bedroom.
There's also the question of a right to privacy. In general, landlords are allowed to install security cameras in public areas where tenants have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
But in a rooming house, it can be a bit gray. So the right to privacy is certainly in the rental unit, that being the bedroom that they're renting, but there have been cases in which landlords feel like the common areas that the tenants are sharing, they have a diminished right of privacy there.
Mason says he would argue that tenants in a rooming house do have the same rights to privacy as those renting the entire home. Depending on how invasive the surveillance is, he believes the landlord and tenant board that oversees these issues could determine the same.
I think they could find that the cameras or how they're being used might be illegal, meaning that it's invading the privacy of tenants, or the legal term is a substantial interference with the reasonable enjoyment of the rental unit and the complex.
Tenants in a rooming house also have all the same rights and responsibilities outlined in the RTA as those renting a home, with one notable exception.
If the landlord or a close family member is also renting one of the rooms or living in one of the rooms and you share that bathroom and kitchen, you could be seen as a roommate, and so then all you have then is the contract between you and that person. You don't have the rights that are conferred to tenants by the Residential Tenancies Act.
The family member must be the landlord's spouse, parent, or child, or their spouse's parents or child. That's why Mason cautions that prospective rooming house tenants ask specific questions and find out exactly who else is living in the home. Dilshad Burman, City News.